So, we're carrying on training the future academics, future gurus. Now here there is a concept called inequality. It started in grade 10, grade 11, and grade 12. To be specifically on grade 12, it is that heavy. For grade 10, sometimes it doesn't have that x to the power of 2. But grade 11, I'm sure there is a 2, and grade 12, there is a 2. The meaning of that 2, it just means that there is 2 answers. This stuff is a quadratic. If you don't know what is quadratic, you must just find another time to class about a quadratic. But the quadratic is something that behaves like this: ax squared plus bx plus c. Now we say that when you see 2, it means that we have 2 answers. Now to start my story, I want to say that this type of exercise, when I teach them, I say that here it is me, my name is called X, and me as an X, I have 2 girlfriends. So the aim of this exercise is to find my girlfriends. Here we need to find my 2 girlfriends. Here you need to find my 2 girlfriends. Also there you need to find my 2 girlfriends. And those girlfriends of mine, it's rare that they will be the same. Other one will be small, other one will be bigger. And the story here is about the inequality, people. This inequality, or this one, I call them, it's a fight. And this inequality, or this inequality, I call it a peace. When I say fight, what do I mean? It means that even the fight, I call it 2 answers. You must have 2 answers if it is a fight. And if it's a peace, you must have 1 answer. I will show you when I do exercise what do I mean when I say 2 answers and 1 answer. But the fight is just mean that there's these 2 girlfriends of mine. They are very, very aggressive in such a way that if I can go with them at the restaurant together, they will be stabbing each other with a knife, guys. They will embarrass me. So that's why we have 2 answers. We'll have 2 dates. The first one I go with the other one I go with the other one. But this one of the peace people is my peaceful girlfriends. This one I can go with them at the restaurant, all of them, just that I need to know where I sit. Because if I just sit anywhere, they will end up stabbing each other. So these 2 girlfriends at the peace, they must not sit next to each other. I must be between them to make sure that they don't fight. But they're very, very peaceful. Now let's see. Already from these exercises, these 2, they're just for the basic concept for you. I want you to understand something. Number 3 is very, very tricky. If you feel like you are a guru, you can pause this video and attempt it, but it's not for everyone. But you will learn something. The first one, because it's a quadratic, less or equal to 0, I know this is a piece, and I will have 1 answer. That is what I understand. I know. People, if you don't know anything about mathematics, guys, please go to the formula sheet. Formula number 1, we call it an ambulance. X is equals to minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2. If you don't know how to solve this thing, find my 2 girlfriends using this formula. Oh, I forgot the a there. You will use this formula to find my 2 girlfriends. And this, in this case, people, on my exercise, you can see there's no equal sign here. So if you put equal sign, you are saying something. So when you're using this formula of ambulance, please write to me that these are critical. My girlfriend will call them critical values, the CV. Then I will allow you to put equal to. But if you don't have CV, you put equal to, you will be in trouble. Okay. But for those ones that are gurus that understand the stuff, we'll do it in the factorization way, where this is x, then it's minus 6, it's a plus 4. People, if you don't know how I came about those things, you find time, you ask. Now from here, the mathematics tell me that my 2 girlfriends, we call them the CV, they are 6 and minus 4. People, write them in order, these numbers. My girlfriend are minus 4 and 6, because the smaller one must always sit there. Now guys, we're almost done. We said that it's a piece. We'll have 1 answer. So the smaller one will always stay here. The bigger one will also stay here. Me as the guy, I will stay between them so that they will not fight. And the side people, if it's a piece, you just come and copy it the way it is. Then you're done, they will give you your marks. So this is what you need to do, people. Just need to understand, if it's a piece, I must go with all 2 girlfriends of mine in the restaurant. I must sit between them, then you are done. Now, let's see the fight. How do we handle the fight? Now the fight, There is another one of a fight there, x squared plus 5x greater or equal to 0. If you don't know, use the ambulance people. But if you know the stuff, then you will go with me here. Here it's a 4, here it's a 1, all of them are plus. Then my two girlfriends, we call them the CVs. The CV is x equal to minus 1 and x equal to minus 4. People, you must not pretend. Most of you don't know this stuff. This number is the smallest. You know, people that didn't do the proper mathematics, they will say that this number is very, very big. So this CV, if I arrange them in order, is minus 4 and minus 1. Then we say that this is a fight. A fight must have two answers. So there is my first answer here, there is my second answer here. My first answer is minus 4, my second answer is that one. But now what do we do? The smallest number, you must always face where the smallest is facing. The bigger number must face where that bigger number is facing. That is what I mean by two answers. You must have one, you must have two. There are two answers. That is what I mean. The smallest one must always, it's always the case, it must face there. You are small, you face that side. You are big, you face that side. That is always the case. Now the last one there is a tricky thing there that I want you to see. That tricky thing, it's up to you how you want to deal with it. Now we'll deal it in a shortcut way. In a shortcut way, you can do this multiply by this, multiply by this, multiply by this. It is fine, but the challenge with this sum is that when you are done whatever that you are doing, this thing is going to have a minus here. And the language of inequality says that this one, it must never be a negative. If it is a negative, you cannot be able to handle it. Now, what do we do? When you divide everything with negative, this sign is going to change and face other direction. That is a trick that I want to show you. So if it is already in this form, what do? You just come and say that x plus 1, you swap the 2